I used to think I was invisible to God. You know those seasons when everything just breaks? That was me. I had just moved to a new city, chasing a fresh start after a rough breakup. New job, new apartment, new me, right? Except nothing worked. The job turned toxic within weeks. I felt more alone than ever, and that fresh start quickly turned into late nights crying into my pillow, wondering if I made the biggest mistake of my life. I remember standing in the middle of my empty living room one night, lights off, whispering, "God, where are you?" I didn't hear anything back, just silence. And man, silence can be loud when you're hurting. I still showed up to church on Sundays, trying to keep it together, but it felt like everyone else was thriving. Everyone had their life figured out, and I was just surviving. I'd smile during the worship set, but on the inside I was screaming, "God, I need you to show up. I can't carry this anymore." It was like walking through a storm with no umbrella, no direction, and no end in sight. I was drowning in discouragement, and worst of all, I thought God had moved on without me. One night, I finally broke down. I didn't even know how to pray anymore, so I just sat on the floor and said, "God, if you still see me, I need you to show me." That was it. No fancy words, just a tired, cracked open heart. And for the first time in a long time, I felt something. Not a voice, not a miracle, just a quiet, steady presence. Like God was sitting in the silence with me, not fixing it, but feeling it with me. And that was enough to breathe again. Over the next few days, little things started to happen. A friend I hadn't talked to in years randomly texted me saying, "I don't know why, but you've been on my heart. Are you okay?" I broke into tears reading it. Then I came across Psalm 34:18. "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." That verse wrapped around my soul like a warm blanket. I realized something. God didn't forget me. He was just waiting for me to stop hiding my pain and start handing it to Him. I started being honest with Him, brutally honest. I'd sit with my coffee and just talk to Him like a friend. "God, I'm scared. God, I feel lost. God, I don't understand. But I trust you anyway." And slowly, things shifted. Not magically, not overnight, but deeply. Peace started replacing panic. Hope started rising where despair used to live. And I began to feel joy again. Joy that wasn't tied to circumstances. One day, I volunteered to help with the youth group at church. I figured if I couldn't fix my life, maybe I could just pour into someone else's. And guess what? I met this girl, 15, quiet, super guarded. She reminded me of me. One night after group, she stayed behind and said, "I don't think God sees me. I feel like no one does." My eyes filled with tears, because I had said those exact words not long ago. So I told her my story, the storm, the silence, the surrender, and I said, "Even when you feel invisible, God is so close, you just can't always feel it. But trust me, He hasn't left you." She nodded, holding back tears, and in that moment, I realized all of it. The pain, the waiting, the breaking, it wasn't wasted. God was using my story to reach someone else in their darkest night. And that's when I saw the full circle. What I thought was a season of abandonment was actually the season God was building the deepest parts of me. He wasn't ignoring me. He was investing in me, in my trust, in my healing, in my testimony. Today, things still aren't perfect, but they're beautiful in a deeper way. I've got scars, yes, but they've turned into stories that point to His goodness. I don't need all the answers anymore. I just need His presence. And He's never failed to show up when I invite Him in. So if you're reading this and you feel forgotten, like your prayers are bouncing off the ceiling, like your story has hit a dead end, let me tell you something I wish someone had told me. God hasn't forgotten you. He's forming you. And what feels like a silent season is actually a sacred one. He's closer than you think. And when the time is right, the breakthrough will come. And you'll look back at this storm and thank God it didn't break you, because it built you.